What's the most inaccurate thing your child has ever been taught in school? My daughter came home crying last Tuesday. Not the normal 12-year-old drama crying. The kind where her whole body shook. Dad, Mrs. Wilson says I'm lying about Grandma. I sat her down at the kitchen table. What do you mean? We're doing family history projects. I told the class Grandma escaped Vietnam on a boat when she was 7. Mrs. Wilson said I was making it up for attention. My blood went cold. My mother survived hell to get here. She said no little girl could survive alone on a boat. That I was being disrespectful to real refugees by making up stories. The eyes stared at Emily's tear-streaked face. Did you tell her it's true? I showed her the picture from your office. The one of Grandma on the naval ship. She said it was probably from the internet. That night, I emailed Mrs. Wilson. Attached articles about Operation Babelift. Attached my mother's immigration papers. Attached the naval records of her rescue. No response. Wednesday morning, I requested a meeting. The principal said Mrs. Wilson was busy prepping for the history fair. Thursday, Emily came home quiet. Mrs. Wilson picked the best 3 projects to present at assembly. Mine wasn't chosen. Who was chosen? Tyler, who talked about his grandfather being a firefighter. Madison, whose aunt is a famous actress. And Kyle, whose family came over on the Mayflower. I drove to the school Friday morning. Walked straight to Mrs. Wilson's classroom. Mr. Nguyen, I'm in the middle of... My mother was 6, not 7, when the fall of Saigon happened. She was separated from her parents at the airfield, put on a C-130 with hundreds of other children. The plane was so packed they couldn't shut the cargo door properly. Mrs. Wilson shuffled paper. I'm sorry, but Emily's story just didn't seem... Her plane was diverted to the USS Hancock. That's where the naval photo was taken. She spent 3 weeks on that ship before reaching Guam. Then 5 months at Fort Indiantown Gap refugee camp before being adopted by a family in Oregon. Mr. Nguyen, my mother couldn't speak English. Couldn't explain she already had parents. That she wasn't an orphan. That she'd been separated in the chaos. It took 37 years before I found my biological grandparents through DNA testing. They thought she had died in the evacuation. The bell rang. Students started filing in. Emily didn't make this up. My mother didn't speak about it for decades. When she finally told us, it was because Emily asked why she had nightmares. Mrs. Wilson's face went white. I had no idea. No, you did, but you decided a Vietnamese refugee story was less believable than someone tracing their ancestry to the Mayflower. The principal called that afternoon, offered apology, said Emily could present her project at the assembly. My mother insisted on going with her. Wore her finest stood next to Emily on stage as she told the story of a little girl on a boat, searching for home in a country that didn't always want to believe. When the presentation ended, the auditorium was silent. Then my mother stepped forward. I am that little girl. I am Emily's grandmother. And this is not a story from a book or movie. This is my life. The applause started slowly, built to a roar. Mrs. Wilson approached us afterward. I made a terrible mistake. I should have listened. Emily just nodded. My mother took her hand. In Vietnam, we have a saying, when someone tells you it's raining, but you're standing in sunshine, trust what you see, not what you hear. Sometimes the most important lessons our children learn aren't found in textbooks, but in standing firm when history tries to erase them.